Alright, let's go ahead and end this now. What's up, guys? This is Courtney, one half of the President Deconstruction here, and I'm bringing you my super late review, surprisingly, for Iron Man 3. When Bruce and I started this channel, we started with The Winter Soldier. So it came out after Iron Man 3. And I hadn't realized that I never did a review for Iron Man 3 until now. Iron Man, and the only reason why I'm doing a review for it now is because Iron Man 3 is a part of a handful of movies that I generally watch around Christmas. Iron Man 3, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Batman Returns, and Edward Scissorhands. Those are the four movies that I tend to watch around this time. They're all movies set during Christmas, so to me they're Christmas movies. And yeah, I realized that I hadn't ever done a review for Iron Man 3, so I just watched it earlier today when this video is going up. Technically it'll be yesterday. I figured, hey, why not? Let's go ahead and knock out a review for it. So the reason why I opened the video the way that I did with let's get this over with, Iron Man 3 is a very polarizing movie, and that's because of the Mandarin twist. Hands down, let me start this. Let me get this right off at the beginning. Iron Man 3 is one of the best MCU films. I will die on this hill. Fight me if you disagree. I don't care either way. In my video that I did back in March for the MCU rankings when Captain Marvel came out, I listed Iron Man 3 as number 7 on that list. And that was for very, very good reason. Iron Man 3 is a great, like, post-Avengers Iron Man film that wraps up, I won't even say wraps up Tony's arc, but it wraps up his arc and starts him on a new one, going towards Age of Ultron. Because in Iron Man 3 is right after Avengers, right after Tony launched the nuke that they sent towards New York into the wormhole, to the Chitauri mothership, destroys it, he falls back down. He has PTSD and anxiety about that event that constantly, hinders him at points in the movie. He has anxiety attacks that kind of stop him from doing whatever it is that he's doing. The entire movie is a character study about Tony and his relationship with being Iron Man. And that's why it's such a good film, because at the end of it, he has this short monologue where he says, even without the suit, I am Iron Man. And he is. It's Iron Man. Tony Stark is Iron Man, and it's not because of the suit. It's because, and he got this nickname in the movie by Harley, I forget his last name, but the little kid that a bunch of people didn't recognize at the end of Endgame. I did, of course, because I love this film. Harley Keener, I believe his name is. He calls himself the mechanic, or Harley kind of says that, hey, you're a mechanic, aren't you? You fix things, you build stuff. Tony is Iron Man because of his mind and what he can build, right? He doesn't need to rely on the suit. And this is a film that shows him relying heavily on the suit. At one point, he gets an anxiety attack because he's driving. He needs the suit to go to Miami to go confront the Mandarin and everything like that. But he left it back in Harley's garage to charge it because the battery died. Shenanigans with threatening the Mandarin, giving out his address on live TV didn't really work out all that well. But Harley tells him that the suit isn't charging, and he has a panic attack and pulls off the side of the road and starts freaking out because he can't get the suit. So this is a film about him being overly reliant on the suit, but learning that he doesn't need the suit. Especially after New York and after the first Avengers film, he has trouble sleeping. Again, he has PTSD. He has anxiety about the aliens and the visions and everything like that. And he constantly tinkers and he builds, and that's where he builds the 40, I think the suit that's used in Iron Man 3 is the Mark 42. At the end of Avengers, it was the Iron Man suit in that film was the Mark 7. So he's literally built, 35 suits up until Iron Man 3? So from Avengers, when Avengers ends, up to Iron Man 3, he builds 35 suits. So yeah, I think this film is absolutely great. It's a very good character study on Tony at that particular time in his life. And it kind of ends that arc of him being overly reliant on the suit. and being super, super protective of the suit. Because then after this, especially in Age of Ultron, when Wanda kind of makes him have that vision of the Avengers being dead and all that other stuff in the alien invasion and Thanos and things like that. That moves him into a story arc about wanting to do everything that he can to protect the world and everything like that. So that's where this movie starts him on that arc, or puts him in a place to go to that arc. But it ends his, oh, I'm Iron Man, the suit makes me, which makes his line in Spider-Man Homecoming so poignant when he tells Peter, when Peter tells him, don't take the suit away, I'm nothing without the suit. And he tells him, if you're nothing without the suit, you don't deserve to have it. That was all from lessons that he learned during Iron Man 3. So solely based on that, this film is great. Now, the Mandarin twist that everybody hates, right? I don't hate it, and I love the Mandarin twist simply because you get a different version of the Mandarin. Now, I always thought that there was a different version of the Mandarin. I think that Marvel probably did backpedal a little bit and kind of do a little extra explaining with the one shot that they put on the Thor The Dark World DVD, All Hail the King, where Trevor Slattery, who Ben Kingsley played in Iron Man 3 and was the fake Mandarin, he is in jail. He's in Seagate prison, now that I think about it, and he comes across Justin Hammer, funnily enough. He's approached by a Ten Rings member who basically says the real Mandarin doesn't appreciate you stealing his name and basically defacing his name. So I never thought that Aldrich Killian was the Mandarin. I think he was a version of the Mandarin, and he was the manufactured Mandarin that was basically causing all these explosions and all this ruckus and everything like that. Because if you think about it, another reason why this movie is so great is if you think about it, it's a propaganda movie for any and all conspiracy theorists about the government, doing this and doing that as a distraction from this other thing. This movie is that. This movie very explicitly states Aldrich Killian comes up with the Mandarin because of the Extremist projects. Extremist is something that Maya Hansen comes up with. It allows for, there's a space in the brain that's unused. You can hack it chemically. You can hack it and reprogram it chemically, and it can be used to help, amputees regrow limbs. But one of the side effects is that it's kind of unstable and it makes people explode. With that problem right there, once he starts going through testing, obviously the first test that he used is on soldiers because he thinks to weaponize it, which is how a lot of medical breakthroughs happen. A lot of medical stuff goes through weaponizing first in order to get funding for further research. Once he has people start blowing up, he starts using that as, well, people's gonna think this is a terrorist attack. Why don't we come up with, the face of the terrorist? So in comes the Mandarin, in comes the Ten Rings, blah, blah, blah. So that in and of itself is a really good play because you have kind of the business. Aldrich Killian is the business version of the Mandarin. In the comic books, there is a version of the Mandarin where he's like a businessman. He's suited out, still has the 10 rings, but he's not the stereotypical Fu Manchu from the very early comics with the racist undertones. But he's also not the old Asian man that we normally would think the Mandarin to be, especially from the 90s Iron Man cartoon. He was Asian, but he was green, and he wasn't old, but the 90s cartoon was weird. Let me just say that. But yeah, I took Aldrich Killian as being the old version, or the business suit version of the Mandarin. This movie is just so good, and there's a lot of subtext and things that you can look into, especially with, I think I saw this on TV Tropes a few years back after the movie had come out. There was a theory that, with the production of the terrorist videos that they released for the Mandarin, that you can take the trailers hyping the Mandarin up to be this super big threat as the production team creating the trailers for the film, which I thought was great when you thought about it. Like Mandarin, we're led to believe that he's this super big threat, just like they do in the film. They send out these videos, he's bombing buildings left and right, he's killing people. But at the end of the day, that's exactly what the trailers made us believe as well. We were led to believe that the Mandarin was gonna come in, fuck Tony's life up, and boom, he's like the worst opponent that he's ever faced. The production team created the trailers for the film. Yeah, this movie is just great, guys. I highly suggest, if you have not watched it, go watch it. And yeah, there's just a lot of stuff to dig into with Iron Man 3. People that hate it, look, I don't understand, man. There's probably, I could probably do like a 45-minute video of just talking about different stuff that I noticed in Iron Man. And I actually just had a point in my head now, but I totally forgot it. But anyway, yeah, that's a hopefully quick review, probably not, about Iron Man 3. Go watch the film. I watched it on Disney Plus, and I actually own the Blu-ray for it. Yeah, I've watched this film several times the past 2 years over the Christmas holiday. I'll probably do a review for Batman Returns. Iron Man 3 is the only Christmas movie out of my tradition that I've gotten to this year. I don't know if I'll be able to get to the other ones. I go into work tomorrow, and you know, after working this week, the end of this week, I mean, I'm going out of town Sunday, so I doubt that I'll have time to actually go watch the other films. But I don't necessarily need to watch them all on Christmas. They're really Christmas tradition films that, you know, I kind of just watch around the holidays. I also plan on watching a different film. I don't really want to give it away because I plan on doing a video with Bruce to remake the film. I gotta find some time to actually watch that as well. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Watch the film, guys. It's really, really good. It's funny. It has heart, and the action scenes. This has some really good action scenes as well. So yeah, thanks for all the support, whether it's 1, 5, 10, or 100 views, and I'll be catching up with you guys later.